This model kit review is of the Messerschmitt Bf109G-6. It's a 1/72nd scale model by Airfix, and looks like we're going to have two options there. One is the Swiss and one is the German. I'm guessing that's Swiss. Guess we'll have to wait and see. And yeah, there we go, Swiss Air Force. And then there's the German one. There are the dimensions and some details about the plane. So let's have a look inside and see what we have. So it looks like we have three main screws and one clear. So here's our clear, and it looks like we've got several options for canopies here. We've got at least 4 canopies, which is a little interesting. There's 2, and here's the other 2. So that's interesting. We'll just see what that's about. They have different arrangements for the metal. So, okay, let's have a look at the fuselage here. It's very nicely molded, very crisp and clean. The panel lines here are recessed, and some good detail here. The exhausts are molded in. Here's the top of the wing, with some detail there for the wheel well. We don't really have any detail here for the inside of the cockpit, as you can see there. Here's the underside of the wing, and as you can see, we've got some recessed panel lines as well. Here we have got our fuel tank, both sides also recessed, and here's our elevator, and not sure what these pieces are for. Here's a propeller, fairly well molded, and everything has a good level of detail. And then last sprue here, we've got our spinner, the classic 109 spinner. Here's our air intake. Here's the side air intake, and we've got our wheels if you want to have them up. There's our it looks like that's probably our seat. Yeah, that's our seat. Here are our wheels if you're going to have them down, and the main gear with their it's interesting, with the wheel well covers attached. We've got our tail dragger wheel there. There's the side air intake. We've got some bombs here, maybe some cannons, and there's our pilot. Here are our decals. We'll have a look at those. So fairly detailed. Lots of little details there for the decals. And then here's our Swiss one and the German one. Here's some details about the plane again. Let's have a look at our instructions. So here we've got our start off with the cockpit, the pilot. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. It looks like it's a bug that was printed on the instructions. Yeah, because there's another one printed on the instructions. That's not on my sheet. That's actually printed on. No real detail here on the inside of the cockpit. So our fuselage goes together with the propeller and spinner. Put our wings together, and then we have our elevator being mounted to the fuselage going onto the wings. Here are the wheels and our fuel tank. Now we've got the canopy going on, and then we've got different options for weapons. There's this fuel tank, and then you've got your cannons. And then landing gear going on there, air intake. I guess it doesn't really show you what option B was. Might be with bombs. Okay, this is nicely printed in color. Here's our color and decal guide. Very nice looking. And then here is our Swiss 109. So all very nicely molded. No real cockpit detail, but some nice decals.